Guess who? You miss me?
What up, guys? Welcome back to the garage, man. So last night I was out here looking at the Blazer and I decided that I wanted to just kind of alter the alternator bracket. So this is what I came up with. I actually ended up getting it a lot closer in, a little bit higher up and a lot closer in than what it was before. This is kind of what it is that I wanted to do anyhow. I didn't really like how the alternator was so far over, and that's because before we had to make room for a power steering pump down there, but now we don't have all that. So that is the Gates belt that I already bought, and it fits now. So solved two problems. I made a little bit more room in this area, and I made one of the belts that we already bought work. So this is the exact same radiator hose that I made work before, that I had to cut a large section out of and shorten it and all that stuff. So I just grabbed another one, figured I'll be able to just completely start over. But the most important part that we got today is my drive shaft. Completely assembled. We literally don't have to do, oh, what is this? O2 sensors as well with the male plug. Completely assembled. So it's already got our yoke for the transmission, U-joint, greased, everything. And then this side actually just bolts on to the 8.8. So yeah, man, this is gonna be easy as all hell. Just throw it in. Oh, come on. What do you think? What do you think, huh? Is that a drive shaft? What do you think about it, huh? Where are you going? Oh, Brett. Well, there it is, dude. Came out pretty freaking dope. I gave him the measurement and it looks like we're sitting probably about 3/4 of an inch out right here, and that's at static. So yeah, that's how much room they gave me. So I trust them. I mean, this is what they do, but I'm just glad that I don't have to mess with the U-joint anymore back here. Whenever I take the drive shaft off, it has that portion, it just bolts straight on there. And hey, Toby. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, Toby. Oh my goodness, Toby. All right, so technically, we can drive this thing now, but we still have a bunch of other stuff we gotta get done. So, all the more reason to get it done today. So does it count whenever you have to add to your list in order to cross something off? Well, I got the radiator hose a little bit better than what it was. I didn't like it all awkwardly just swooping over. I'm still not happy with this, if I'm being honest. I don't think I'm ever gonna be happy with it until I need to switch water pumps to the one that's like, it stubs straight out the front right here, I believe. Well, actually, then the belt would be in the way. I don't know, dude. I need to do some research and figure something out. I just don't like how this has to come up. If this was capable of going straight out right here or something to get this hose lower, like down here, that would give me a lot more room to run an intake over this direction. So anyhow, any recommendations as far as water pump, throw in the comments down below. I know this is truck spacing, and I know I can get a car like a like Corvette or Camaro style, but I'd have to run spacers on the back. I don't know. Throw it in the comments down below what it is you guys think. So aside from putting antifreeze in that son bitch, of course, radiator is done there, boy. All right, what we got left? I think for now, I'm just gonna zip tie the brake cables out of the way until I figure out exactly what it is I wanna do with that. I do need to bleed the brakes and do the diff fluid. Damn, I should have done the boring shit first. All the fun stuff is out of the way. Oh well, gotta get it done. Bleeding brakes is one of my least favorite things to do. Brakes or clutch. But it is what it is, man. We got to get through it. Something's got to be done. I pulled all the wheels off because obviously we got a lot of air in the system. So I'm going to go through and actually bleed all 4 corners. Not to mention, I'd really like to get all the old fluid out of here. When I did pull the original rear end out and I disconnected that brake line, bro, the brake fluid that came out of there looked like freaking oil. And I mean like way past time to do an oil change kind of oil. Well, this is what we got to choose from in here. I didn't grab any because I know I had some here. Oh, there's the better stuff. .4. I think I have to run .3, right? What is all this .3, .4 crap, bro? It's an 87. It's old as shit. I figured I may as well just run .3. Dude, whatever. Yo, peep this. This is solo pumping at its finest. Jack handle, set it against the seat. Go ahead and pump the brake. Jack handle's the perfect length, so you gotta really push the brake all the way to the firewall to get it in front of the brake pedal. Bang, bang. The hardest part is getting out without knocking it off. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the vacuum bleeder, but I don't think anything works as well as just good old fashioned freaking pumping the living shit out of that thing and then relieving the pressure. So what I do is just turn the vacuum on, crack the valve, shut it, and then go do it again. Repeat 10,000 times. All right, brakes are all done. I'm gonna fill up the rear diff now. I gotta put gear oil in there. Dude, this was a hot topic, man, on Facebook. So you guys know how I did this cover, you know, the $20 independent rear suspension 8/8 cover that I grabbed from the junkyard. So I've been trying to be a little bit more active on like Facebook groups, like specifically for S10s, to try to generate a little bit more S10 people in here because I've been doing so much S10 content. So I've been sharing more stuff like on S10 specific Facebook groups. Boy, I shared that cover like my title was best $20 upgrade or whatever, you know. There was hundreds, okay, maybe not hundreds, but there was like 50 comments across all the different Facebook groups. People saying, you know, you can't fill that up right there. You can't fill that up. That's not an independent rear suspension diff. That's a straight axle. But that's all right because my fill is right here. The fill point on the straight axle sits a lot higher than the IRS, the independent rear suspension, because this actually has axle bearings inside of here that it's got to lubricate also. This would be the fill on the IRS, where if you were to look on the other side where I just took this thing out of, where you originally filled this thing up, like it sits like about this high. So it definitely sits higher so you could put more fluid in it. But yeah, dude, that was the most commented freaking thing. I'm like, you know what? At least I have a drain, okay? I have a drain. Ooh, God, this thing is dirty. Bam!
Lucas, SAE 8890 gear oil, trans and diff lube.
them out, man. Knocking shit off the list. But what can I say? I keep forgetting things that aren't on the list. The front shocks. Still gotta put those on. So I saw a few people whenever we installed these shocks on Bravus, Colorado, and on the rear of my Blazer, were talking crap about these shocks, saying that they're junk if you gotta take them off to adjust them. More stickers. Oh, sick. It comes with the little bushings and stuff for the top. This is literally my first time opening up the fronts. Stickers! Dude, so freaking serious, man. Look how many of these stickers I've got. That's crazy. It's crazy. Anyhow, I've never heard of a shock that whenever you open it, you gotta pump it to get the air out of it. Look, I don't know all the science behind it, okay? So I'm probably gonna sound ignorant as hell, but I do have an understanding of it. I just don't necessarily know how to put it into words. So these are a dual function shock. So there's compression and rebound. All shocks have that, but like a traditional shock, whenever you push it down, you let it go and it goes and it shoots back up. These don't do that. So yes, I'm gonna try to be as quiet as I can. Hopefully this thing makes the noise inside that the last shocks did, so that you guys can hear it. You pull this thing all the way up, and then you push it down. You can hear bubbles like moving in there. Another thing, whenever you get it fully extended all the way to the top, now watch how quick it goes down for just a moment. Do you see that travel? There's like probably a half of an inch to an inch that it moved fast, and then there's resistance. You keep pumping it and that goes away. See, it's already stiff as hell, dude. It's so hard to push these down. Listen. You pump it a few times, that noise goes away. And look, it's all the way at the top. I don't have that ½ inch to 1 inch little gap to where it just drops and then it has resistance. Watch. It's just right away. And it's because I pumped it a couple of times. Every time I pump this thing, it's harder and harder to push down. God dang, this is harder than the freaking rear ones. And now, once you do that, it's ready to install, but you also want to decide what setting you want your shock to be on. So yes, it is a pain in the ass to go through the settings whenever you want to change a setting if it's already installed, because you have to, with the rears, I just have to unhook the bottom, push it up, and then I can adjust it. With the fronts, it's not gonna be like that because this is actually caged inside of the spring. So I would have to completely remove the front to change the settings. So I'm defending myself here against those people who made those comments, because I actually watched the manufacturer of the shock. I watched their YouTube video, which I put it in the description of that video so that you guys could watch it too if you wanted. That's what they recommended you do. Do you pump it a few times? I noticed a huge difference just pumping this thing twice. All the noise from the inside goes away. That little section at the very top where there's no resistance, that goes away to where there's resistance all the way at the top, you know what I mean? And it gets harder and harder to press until a certain point, and then it's just, you've gotten all the air out. Any shock that you have to take it off to go through the settings is just junk. These are $70. This costs $70 per corner. A higher end, more baller shock that has the little dial on the bottom to where you can adjust your rebound and your compression. The double adjustable shocks, man, look them up, bro. For cheap ones, it's $250 each. So $250 per corner. So I have all 4 shocks, all 4 racing oriented shocks on my Blazer for a total of $280 for all 4. Now this is entry level, bro. This is like the bottom of the barrel, entry level, versus $250 for 1 corner. So this is budget. It's the cheap way in, you know what I'm saying? So you see, these weren't a terrible shock. They just don't have any kind of adjustment. There's no technology in these things whatsoever. It's a normal shock. It's like 50-50. It's really stiff. It has the same amount of resistance for compression as it has for rebound. And there's no adjustment between it. You know what I'm saying? So where these you're capable of adjusting, they have different adjustments for the front and different adjustments for the rears. So this is how you control the speed in which the shock travels, which is really important important in drag racing. Now, obviously the difference between this $70 shock and a $250 shock is it's a lot harder to adjust, and you are limited to those settings, where if you had an actual double adjustable shock, you can set them to those numbers and everything in between. You can more so fine tune it, you know what I'm saying? So that's the price difference, but these are really dope because it's just an entry level thing, you know? $280 freaking dollars. I have all 4 shocks on my Blazer. Anyhow, out with the old. I'm not gonna throw these away. I'm actually gonna put these on the shelf. Who knows? Maybe I might get another S10 someday that I just want to be like a daily and slam it. Oh, really quick, I'm able to take all these old dry rotted bushings off because my competition engineering shocks came with brand new bushings. Sick. Shocks are in. Of course, you can't see them very well because they are deep up inside of that spring there, boy, but it's all on there. All right, one last thing I have on the front is the O2 sensors. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on, and then we can put the wheels back on and finally set the damn thing back on the ground. Well, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I was trying to put a intake together as a temporary thing, but this might end up just being permanent, dude, because this came out really nice. So this is just a pipe that we've had laying around with the 90. This whole filter setup, Braven had as an extra that a friend of his gave him, so it's been sitting up there doing nothing. Got the mass airflow sensor in. The only problem now is I need to extend my wiring for the mass airflow sensor, so I don't know. Came out pretty nice though. I'm definitely digging it. Oh, look at this. The reason why I like it so damn much, this pipe had this piece of flat strap coming off of it. It did just go straight, but I bent it and tweaked it over to where it reached this empty spot on the valve cover. Cut it and cleaned it up, drilled a hole, put a number 10 in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Bust my flashlight out. Shoo! What you know about that, man? The filter is about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch away from the wheel well, so dude, freaking solid, man. And it's bolted to the engine, so it'll move with the engine, you know what I'm saying? All right, we have knocked shocks off the list. O2 sensors are off the list. See, look, I didn't even have intake up there. I gotta put it on here so I feel more accomplished. Goodbye. So we still got to extend the mass airflow sensor wiring. And I gotta put coolant in it. And then it's ready to drive, bro. I'm just gonna get that done first thing in the morning, so the next video is going to be the official first drive, since we have done all the upgrades and gotten rid of power steering and all the dumb, annoying stuff. So anyhow, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you like the direction that the Blazer is going. I'm trying to get it to the point to where it'll be a nice, reliable vehicle. I can go out and just beat the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to do the khaki back in the day. Peace, and I'll see you on the next one.